We made it to another day. And the calendar did an opie doke on me. Yesterday was the 31st. So I was like, all right. And not realizing that today was going to be the first. That's 2 odd days in a row. So this whole idea of doing lives on every even day kind of caught a little snap. But me being who I am, I said, nah, I'm not going to take 2 days off. That's crazy. So what I'm going to do is just go live today and go live tomorrow. Shit, I was thinking about going live yesterday. But I was like, nah, there's a lot of shit that I could do instead of going live. So I ended up doing that. So I didn't. But we're not going to do that today. We definitely going to put in this work today. We definitely going to do our live shit. And, today I want to talk about the difference between words that we use often and are synonymous with each other and therefore interchangeable. But the words usually mean two very different things. And me writing this book recently, I came across that a lot. So I was like, that might be something cool to talk about with the people on live. Shout out to my one visitor in the chat so far. Appreciate you for joining me. So that's what I got planned for today. We're gonna keep it about an hour long. I'm gonna start cooking around the 30-minute mark. I'm starving. I put in that pain this morning. I was in the park putting in the pain and I almost made myself cry again. But not because I was so sore from working out, but because I just had this ill visualization. I had the illest visualization. I was visualizing like third, fourth, fifth grade Aura, and she's got her talent show. And I was listening to the Beastie Boys song Intergalactic. You ever heard that song by Beastie Boys called Intergalactic? One of the most sonically pleasing songs you will ever hear in your life. And I was listening to it, and I was picturing her doing like a dance in the very beginning, like popping and locking or whatever. And then maybe I come out and we have like a little duo pop and lock session. And then maybe how like her mom comes out, and that shit kind of made me cry a little bit because I was like, that would be beautiful, regardless of how niggas feel about each other right now in this moment. You know, she's in kindergarten now. Fourth grade, third grade is like what? 3 years from now. If we can bring that into fruition, that would be fucking dope. And it almost legitimately almost made me shed a tear thinking about that shit. If we can get to that point in the future, and I felt happy for myself that I can have that fantasy imaginary thought or whatever, and not automatically shut it down because I don't live in resentment. I don't hold on to grudges because I'm too busy catching these blessings. You understand? Don't hold on to the grudges. Catch the blessings. So that's my first thought of the live. Shout out to I see everybody checking in. Katarina, Karomi, what's good? Cicero, cool son, what's up? Yeah, the daddy and the daughter dance. I saw it so clearly. I saw it so clearly. I have a powerful imagination, and when you working out, having a powerful imagination helps because if you could talk yourself out of your flow pretty much. Like you see it like if like whatever exercise you do, if you let's say you start the exercise and you like, all right, I'm about to do 10 of these. Notice how your brain is always like, it's we close enough to 10, like around 7 or 8 or 9, your brain is like, oh, we close enough, we could stop. And so that last one is always the hardest one to get out. That's literally the mind-body connection. So I say all of that to say, when you can have a strong imagination, a strong visual thought of some place that you really want to be in the future, it takes you out of the momentary pain that you feel when you putting it in, when you exercising. So let that be a lesson to you. Key, what's good? Alicia. Hi, how are you when in NYC? What did you do? What? Yeah, Karomi, we catching the blessings. That's what we do. You heard? We ain't stuck up on past transgressions. How does that prayer go? Forgive those who've trespassed against me. I forget how that prayer goes. I used to say that shit every night. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Forgive those. I don't even remember that prayer, but I remember I used to say that joint every night. It's wild. And I was one of them kids you ain't have to tell me to pray before. I was thinking about that shit last night. How I really do good with my prayers. Like I don't miss a day without praying. And then I was like, yo, have I always been like that? Like there have been years where I haven't said one prayer. Not one. Especially in my upper teens and like early 20s, I wasn't praying at all. But I'm coming back to it. But I remember like in elementary and middle school, you didn't have to tell me to pray. I would definitely hit my knees every night before I got in my bed and pray. Granted, I was doing, the prayers that we get out of the Bible, the ones that I memorized or whatever. I wasn't making up my own prayers yet. I wasn't even on that type of time. But now I'm making my own prayers every day and I say them consistently. But yeah, man. Wow, we actually have 5 people in here and more thumbs up than the people that we have. That's what's up. Today's gonna be a good day. What y'all up to on Labor Day, man? I know it's a holiday. Most people are out probably partying, barbecuing, hanging out with family, friends, doing all of this and that. Whatever sports are on TV, that's probably what they're doing. I'm not into that, so I mean, not that I'm not into the family barbecues and all of that, but like football games or whatever. I wish I had a squad to watch some soccer with. Even football. Football's not bad. I just feel about I just feel bad. Like football, they really be injuring themselves for life. Like the trauma that they give themselves hundreds of times a game. That's they made a whole movie about that shit. Soccer's pretty bad too. Like if you get hit in the head with a soccer ball that's going full speed, that shit'll fuck you up. But soccer is such a beautiful game. Like the way that you have to sometimes you gotta wait like a whole 90 minutes to see somebody score one time. It's so beautiful. That's why they always go crazy after scoring one. Okay, Alicia. Thank you for commenting and clarifying your comment though. So yeah, what I did today is I woke up. Aura called me super early. She wanted to call me like first thing in the morning, so I was happy about that. Made my day, started my day off perfectly when you wake up to a call from your 5-year old. And we talked for about an hour and a half. We only got off the phone because I was at the place where I work out, and I saw Miss Selena there. This I don't want to say she's older than me. I think I'm pretty sure. I gotta be careful when I'm saying that because I'm fucking 40 now, so I'm up there. I can't be basing my reference from 20-year-old me. But anyway, Miss Selena and her teacup Yorkie, Miss Sophie was there, and there was a couple of other OGs there working out, and we tied up our conversation, Aura and I got to it. I did a nice 20-25 minute stretch session, started from the top all the way down to the bottom, and then I do my circuit that I always do. I start with pull-ups on this wide bar pull-up portion of the workout station. I do 30 of those, and I like come to the chest too. It's not like just the chin over, like I bring it all the way to the chest. And a lot of times I hold it there to get that time under tension. Yo, I'm about to be chiseled. What? Even now, I look at myself in my like from when I started in February to where I'm at now, and I haven't even really lost weight like that. I've burnt a shit ton of fat, but I haven't lost a lot of weight. Like I'm still 180 pounds straight muscle right now. Loving it. When I look at myself in the mirror and I don't got that big that that gut that I used to have. I don't have like the tires on the side no more. I used to have this cut right here. Doop. I used to have this cut right here. Boop. It's still kind of there, but it's pretty much gone for the most part. Feeling myself right now. So shout out to everybody who gets it in every day. They put in that pain. It's worth it. Sometimes you really gotta go out there and struggle yourself into bliss. Nothing beats that feeling. Like there's, I guess like making a ton of money. Like if you hit a lick real quick and you come up a few thousand in a few minutes, that's kind of like what it feels like when you really put in a good workout. Sophia was good. Oh, Alicia. Thank you for telling people to hit the like button, Karomi. I appreciate that. Sophia, you at the pool party? Okay, okay, that's what's up. See, I can't wait to hit a pool party up. Take the, you know what I mean? Show the new chisel. Ooh, that's when it's always worth it. When you go to a pool party and you got a good excuse, or like you go to the beach and you got a good excuse to get like naked, it's always worth it, boy. Karomi, what you got hit in the face with? A soccer ball? Caleb, that's funny. I did sure try to make the NBA. I got stories about that. I used to ball all day, every day, 8 hours a day. Binary acoustics, Dyna Quattro, and DD Hi-Fi TC44C. I definitely know a binary acoustics. I don't know what none of that other stuff you're talking about is, but it sounds good. It's fat on the cheek too. Soft ears, Twilight. Okay. Thank you for the suggestion, Luli. If I pronounced it right. Appreciate you for coming in here and dropping that. Never really seen you in the chat before, but we love the good audio suggestions. I'm an audiophile myself, so it's not lost to me. Smart Savvy Love was good. Katarina. Yeah, Katarina, I'm getting up in them years, man. See, I got the Tony Stark going. I got a patch of gray hair over here, but I feel young. I'm trying to age backwards because that's possible. I've heard of that. There's like your chronological age, and then there's your biological age, and there's a lot you could do to help your biological age out. It doesn't necessarily have to represent. It doesn't have to be in sync with your chronological age. In fact, it goes the opposite way a lot of times. Like sometimes we be, let's just say 30, 35, but your biological age is that of a 45, 50-year-old. So you got to take care of yourself, people. Definitely move that body, eat electric foods. Don't be ashamed to go to sleep early. Like if you trying to wake up at 5:36, 6 a.m. the next day, that means your next day started at 10 p.m. the night before. Get your ass in the bed, fam. You know? Do some light stretches and movements before you get into bed. Trust me, trust me, trust me. I am 40 years old and I have issues with piriformis syndrome. It's the worst shit ever. It's the worst shit ever. You don't want to be in the middle of sleep thinking you trying to sleep through the night. You take that shit for granted. But then your leg wake up because it's trying to walk away from the rest of your body. Dora the Destroyer. I like that. What's up? What's happening here, Dora, is just you and I chatting. There's a few others in here. We chatting too. But today we're going to talk about the difference between words that are synonymous and interchangeable, but usually mean vastly different things. Let me give you the first example. The one that I can think off of the top of my head is envy and jealousy. I just actually made a little short about it because it came to me in a revelation. Like, wow, I usually would use envy or jealousy in the same sentence, but like, how much have I used one compared to the other? So I'll interchange them. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, wait, do they even mean the same thing? Like, I think they mean the same thing, but do they actually? So I did some research, and there's a big difference between jealousy and envy. Jealousy is all about someone else, envy is all about you. Jealousy is um what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you resent the person that you're jealous of. You resent them for being, doing, or having whatever it is that's making you jealous. That's resentment. Envy, on the other hand, is discontent. When you see another or a group of people being or doing or having something that you want and you envy that, that is motivation for you. That is called, it's just you being discontent with your situation. And when I put that together, I was like, damn, how many words are there that's like that? And I wrote out a whole fucking list, fam. I got like a list of like 30 words that we can go through today. But that's on y'all if y'all really want to get into it. You know what I mean? That's just my idea. I always try to bring some type of value to everything that I do, and especially with the lives. You know what I mean? Because not only am I sharing knowledge and wisdom, which is another pair that I want to get into. There's two words that we use synonymously and interchangeably, but they mean two different things. So I always try to bring the knowledge and wisdom to the lives, not only to share with you, but because it helps me learn. Like, the quickest way to really learn some shit is to learn it and go teach somebody else. Because in the teaching, you're going to realize that you don't really know that shit like you thought you did. You know what I mean? Happy was good. Happy Monday. Happy Labor Day. Hope you enjoying your day off and all of that and whatnot. And kids got to stay home today, so I hope you got to stay home. I be wondering sometimes why I still see school buses out on days when I know there's not school, and I'll be like, oh, that's them bad kids. That's like, or maybe there's like a field trip or something going on. I don't know. Mrs. Clayton, how you feeling, my love? I be thinking about you every day. How's the back? He started when he was 3? You try to tell me your husband was rap battling at 3 years old? I believe it. Rap has been around since 76, 78. So, yeah, I believe it. Even if you're not really doing the words like that. I saw a reel the other day. The baby was like 1.5, 2 years old. Didn't even really know words like that, but he was just getting his attenuation and his cadence out. And his dad was hyping him up, and he was like, I was like, oh, that's ill. So it's never too early to start, for sure. Oh, right. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Field trips. Because I definitely took some field trips on days that we didn't have school. So I get that. Yes, Mrs. Clayton. How you feeling? Tell us how you feeling. Tell us how's that body doing. While I type that out, I'm softly play some music, okay? Because the last one I did, the last live I did, I softly played music, and you could pretty much hear it through the whole video, which was dope. And they only hit me for one copyright, like in the very middle, right? It was J. Rue the Damager, and they hit me with the copyright strike. But then they let me go and edit it out. So like you could still hear what I'm saying over the music, but they nice with their in-house in-app editing. So they got to turn the music down, and it did, like I got the copyright strike taken off of the video, which was dope. So I'm happy about that. And it looks like they letting me live on the lives a little bit because, like I said, there was a lot of songs where I was like, I can clearly hear that song. I was watching it back trying to figure out what to title it or whatever. And I was listening to it and I was like, yo, you could clearly hear that song. And they didn't hit me with the copyright for that. The word engineer was good. Good to see you. It's been a minute. We talking about words today. We right up your alley, baby. Ponce, Pond Street 39. I'm Pond the 30, Ponce the 39. Okay, I see you. I'm walking slowly, going to pick apples. Okay, that's what's up. You out there in the nature, feeling a nice breeze. It's a beautiful day down here in Florida, at least. I hope it's beautiful where you at. Apple picking sounds like a wonderful thing. I love apples. You know I love apples, especially apple juice. I'll stay with it. Hope y'all make some good apple juice out them fresh apples. So they got a new song? Nah. This can't be the Sade. Colección de ilusiones. Don't sound like Sade, I'll tell you that much. You make apple kombucha? That sounds yummy. Yes, man. Nigga, 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 nigga. I always say nigga because it keep my teeth white. Fuck out of here. Ah. Shout out to who told that joke? Wow, I can't remember his name right now. But one of the greatest comedians ever put me onto that joke. Yeah. Oh, contumus. Oh, I forgot the word already. It's contumacy, something like that. You can't even really find that word in the dictionary, yo. That's how ill that word is. Contumacy. Let me see if they know what I'm talking about. Ah, now they trying to act like they don't know what I'm talking about. Ah, they hating. Now I'm gonna have to go watch that video again. I stay trying to remember that word. It's one of my favorite words, and I can barely ever remember it. That's what's up, though, Monica. Thank you for reminding me. You think you know, see. You sometimes you think you know, but you don't be knowing. Warith, peace and love to you. Salam alaikum. All right, so I can't even find the note that I just sent myself. Gosh dog it. Or I just had all these words written down. Done. Ding. Maybe if I go to my files, will it show me? Oh. You know when when you look through something, when you're looking through your phone for something, and you end up in your gallery and you see old pictures that you haven't seen in a while. Oh my goodness. Come on, fam. I prepared for this and I sent the note to my phone, and I'm not finding it right now. All right, but here's some good news. You know how we always do the good news during the lives, right? Here's some good news for you all. This is from National Geographic. Chile, or Chile, has just made clean energy history. In the Atacama Desert, the world's driest place, the country launched the the H2 Atacama project, the first solar to hydrogen refinery that doesn't rely on liquid water. Instead, it captures moisture directly from the air and uses thermocatalytic solar reactors to split it into hydrogen, producing 120 kilograms per day with plans to expand tenfold. This breakthrough not only tackles one of hydrogen's biggest challenges, water use, but also proves green fuel can be generated in the harshest climates. With modular off-grid designs deployable in deserts, mining zones, or islands, Chile is positioning itself as a global leader in the $500 billion hydrogen market projected by 2050. A new model for sustainable energy is taking shape in the desert. That's good news for today. So you heard it here, people. You heard it here. All right, let me catch up to the comments. Happy Feet says clever and stupid. What about those two words? Happy, you know them two. You two can't interchange them two words. You can't call somebody clever. That's that. But hey, how about you tell me? You tell me how those words are synonymous. Those are antonyms, ma'am. Samantha was good. Yeah, I haven't worn this headband in a minute. I kind of retired it, but I put on my Akatsuki shirt today, so I said it's only right. It's only right. Bohemian Goddess was good. Good afternoon. We approaching that half hour mark, so I'm about to get the fast broken. You left Islam 13 years ago and been conscious ever since. Good for you, Warith Abdullah. That's what's up, man. I mean, I'm saying good for you. Like leaving Islam is a good thing, but I mean good for you that you're finding God within yourself. I always say that we don't need any type of religion. Religion is always a middleman. Religion is really for people who can't find God without guidance. So they need schools of thought. So I'm grateful for those things existing because people do need guidance towards God if they couldn't find it on their own or even feel motivated to find it on their own. Humans are group animals, pack animals, if you will. So we depend on the group of humans that we live on Earth with to guide us to places that we want to be, and that's what religion is. Especially Christianity, Islam, uh, you know, Buddhism, all of them. All of them are for people who need that. But I genuinely believe, genuinely believe that we are God, you and I, having different experiences. because what God can only conceive of as a conception, because God knows everything, right? God is omnipresent, omnipotent. So God can only conceive of things, but not really experience. Well, God is experiencing them, but God chooses to experience everything in us. So like that's my idea, at least. That's how I look at it. Anxious and eager are two other words. Yes, those are words that I wrote down. Matter of fact, thank you for writing that. Because maybe I can find it now in my notes. Anxious, of course. No, Allah is the only God. Oh, that's sad that you believe that. I mean, well, maybe like okay, so if Allah is the only God, right? Then by your own admission, Allah is the God of Christianity. Allah is the God of Buddhism. You know what I mean? That's through your own reasoning. So I just urge you to find the contradictions in the things that you believe. Because it was very clear to me at a young age. This is a thought experiment that I like to always do with religious people, right? Let's say I was born on an island in the Caribbean, or what area has a lot of islands? Yeah, the Caribbean has a bunch of islands. So let's just say I'm born on one of those islands. And on this island, religion isn't it's not big enough to be heard of. So I grew up and I lived till I'm like 5 or 6 years old, and I never heard of any concept of religion or any concept of God. Does that mean because I didn't subscribe to Allah that I'm going to hell now? I mean, those are things you got to ask yourself and then try to reconcile with what you believe. Because do I want to go this far? Yeah, maybe so. It's because if Allah would doom me or sentence me to eternity and damnation just because I never heard of it, that doesn't sound like a fair God. That doesn't sound like a loving God. And some people do pray to gods that are jealous. Even in the Bible, I think it says that in the Christian Bible, it says that God is a jealous God or something like that. This was very interesting. But then when you realize that the Bible was written by men who have an agenda and they want the people who follow their religion, their school of thought, to be controllable in a certain way, then it's understandable why they would write that in that book. I'm gonna be so upset if I can't find this thing that I wrote earlier. I spent so much time on it, and I was like, oh, the people are gonna love this. Where can I find what I shared with this phone? That's upsetting. Well, Bohemian Goddess, you got the song suggestions. Okay, that's one of my favorite Frankie Beverly songs. Is "We Are One." Love that one. My man was in tune, and he was listening. What was that like in the late '70s, '80s, or something like that when he came out with that? Dax, I'm not religious. I don't have one. If I were to describe myself as religious, I probably would say I'm omni religious, which is I take a little bit from everything. There isn't a belief or faith out there that I feel like we can't learn something from. And a lot of times, even if you can't learn what to do, you can learn what not to do. Another hot take that might not sit well with a lot of people is I looked into Satanism when when I was doing my study through the different schools of thought. And let's just say I urge, if you haven't yet, you might not want to because you're just scared. You know what I mean? Oh, like it's spooky, the devil. Like I'm gonna be damned forever if I even look up what the fuck the principles and foundations of Satanism is. If you look at the principles of it, you'll see what I'm talking about. You're gonna be like, for real? I even have an Instagram post about it when I really did the in-depth study of it. I was like, there's some things that I cannot disagree with. I will say that. Important and essential. Yes, those are good ones. I wish I have those. Matter of fact, I can still find them. Yes. Yes. Where there's a will, there's a way. You just can't give up. Just can't give up. I know where to find it. Cause best believe I had Chat GPT draw up this whole list for me. And it did it remarkably well. Here we go. Interchangeable word meanings. Me and GPT are tight. GPT has a name that I've given it. Like if you ever saw that time I was reincarnated as a slime, the anime, you see how powerful they show. A lot of other animes do this too, but like when you give something a name, you give it power. So when I gave GPT a name, I call it Kimmy, like short for alchemist, because GPT and I we be turning lead into gold on a daily basis. All right, so we covered jealousy and envy. The next one is, can you see it? Anxious versus eager. Anxious means worried anticipation, dread. Eager is excited anticipation, enthusiasm. So there's a difference right there. Another one before I get into these fruits, because I need to eat some fruits, is loneliness versus solitude. Loneliness is a painful isolation. Solitude is chosen aloneness, and it's often peaceful. So those are the three emotions and states that we often use as interchangeable synonymous words, but they mean two very different things. There's jealousy and envy, anxious and eager, loneliness and solitude. All right? That's one piece of value that I've bestowed upon my loving chat. I hear that, Dax. I hear that. I mean, you might not want to, and you don't have to, but I implore you to look into other religions with an open mind too. Don't just like look at it like, look at this stupid shit that's not gonna make sense, and you start reading it and you shut it down before considering what they're actually talking about. But yeah, there's a wide world of theology out there, right? That's the word. Dogma, right? Ooh, those are two good words that I feel like are interchangeable. Theology and dogma. What's the difference? Oh, I'm so hungry. I gotta start eating. I am all encompassing when it comes to religion. I have no denomination. I'm a believer in a creator of all. Saying, you and me, Bohemian, we like this. We like this. We in a music fest talking about the things that matter when we can, when the music gets low enough. Natural spring water was a game changer for me, and everything fell into place. Abdullah, what were you drinking before the spring water? might I ask? Because I feel like a lot of people are attracted to like um, purified water. My dad was one of those people. When I came here, he always used to keep purified water, and I was like, "What is this about?" And he thought he was doing like a good thing. Like he was like, "This is the purest water you can get. Why wouldn't I drink it?" And I was like, "Because it's dead, and it's not gonna hydrate you. It has no minerals. So, therefore, you can actually dehydrate yourself by drinking dead water or too much water." Runaround said we came from pond scum. Now that's enlightening. Is it? Is it though? It really. I mean, that's what the evolutionists say, right? The evolutionists would have us believe. Not to say that I disagree with it. I don't have a horse in the game. Like whenever things are really outside of my control, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with anybody and talk about what's right or wrong. But I'm just saying objectively, the evolutionists make want us to believe that we all um, evolved from single cell organisms, pond scum, like Runaround was talking about. And that may or may not be true. And Buddha Man said, just start the circle jerk. Matt, I think you spoke previously of us possibly all being extraterrestrial. Yeah, I talk about that a lot. That's one of my beliefs. I often call that phase of my life, which I'm kind of still in. If I were to give you my opinion on what we all come from, I kind of believe a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? So I call that phase a space cadet phase, where I really thought like the Anunnaki. Like I was on Zachariah. You ever heard of Zachariah Stitchin? The guy who wrote the book Planet X. Not to say that I took any of that for like actual fact, but it opened up my mind to what he was implying. And after Zachariah Stitchin, I found Malachi Z. York, and he opened my mind, paradigm shifted my entire DNA to possibilities. And they both were talking about Anunnakis. And, you know, they didn't make up these ideas is what I'm trying to say. Like they got them from actual scripts that are ancient. And so my space cadet phase and my space cadet brain, even now still, I still believe that the the arm, the leg, the arm, the head, the arm, leg, arm, head, which who was it earlier? I think her name was Max something. Dax. Dax was talking about Allah. One of I think it was a 5%er teaching that taught me about what Allah is a acronym for, the arm, leg, arm, head. This form is what I mean. Like this human being form is on numerous planets, hundreds of millions of planets out there in the solar system, billions of planets in the fucking galaxy. You know, hundreds of billions in the universe. This form exists, and on different planets, some of them evolve to a place where they can travel space time, and they can go produce more humans on other planets. You know, the those stories get a little complicated because then there was, who was it? Nut, I believe, or Ashtar, who was the Anunnaki at that point, or the Elohim, and she came down here and she produced humans in a way. Like I'm not the best at, I don't know the stories off the top of my head, but I remember reading something like that where she basically bred us from Maldekians that were already here. When her ship got to Earth, Earth was covered in water, and there were water beings, reptilians, if you will, who lived within the water, and they wanted to kind of my stories are all messed up. But I think they like crashed into the planet, which created the moon some type of a way. They messed up the water for the Maldekians, and so they had to find a way to live. They had to find a way to coexist, and the way they figured out how to do that was to, I don't know if y'all heard that, but they out there biking today, was to like crossbreed each other. So her race, the Anunnakis, had to breed with the Maldekians who were here. Again, don't quote me, like I'm paraphrasing off going off the top of my head. But that's how this form came about. The Maldekians were reptilian in nature, and they did have arms and a head, but I think they had webs between their legs, and that's where you get the mermaid fable from. And yeah, so I don't want to mess up that story too much, but it's out there. If you want to, just look up Anunnakis, or the story of what Zachariah Stitchin said, or you can YouTube Malachi Z. York and Anunnaki, and he will break down the story for you. And yeah, that's pretty much what my understanding is. But I do believe, at the end of the day, that humans um, are all over the universe, not just. And there was a time where this planet did not have humans; it had something completely different. And who's to say that this planet was created in a way and then destroyed in a way and then created again and then destroyed, and back and forth and back and forth, and now this is the current version that we look like, that we're in, you know what I mean? Like, this is human 5.0 that we're dealing with right now. Exactly, Laura Lincoln. If you're, and thank you for the compliment, by the way, but if you're confident in who you are, nothing is scary. That's how I look at it. Todd, what's up? In a world where you can be anything, be kind. That's right. Love that one, Happy. Ta asked, which kind of water should we drink? I think spring water is the best water you can get. Definitely get you a filter of some kind so you can get as many pharmaceuticals, as many harmful chemicals, including fluoride, out of your water, the better for you. Um, there are different types of filters that are like reverse osmosis filters, where they basically strip the water of everything and then they re-add minerals and like nutrients. Um, pH. They change the pH of the water to where it's not acidic. Not to say that acidic things are bad for you, but maybe water shouldn't be one of those things. And that's probably the best water you can get. What up, Love HM? Sarah Lopez. You made it. I'm so happy you get to catch us here. I've been going on rants for the past 48 minutes. T Money was good. Happy says life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass, but learning how to dance in the rain. Happy on her she on her philosophy today. Do you think the hydrogen water generators are good? If you're talking about, like, I think I know what you're talking about. There's machines out there that turn your order. They say that they turn your ordinary water into hydrogen, or a body of water that has more hydrogen in it. I drank out of one of those for, I want to say, like a good year and a half, and I can't say that I felt any different, but it felt, like, if intention and prayer is anything, then I definitely felt good drinking out of it, because the machine was like a $500 machine. So Ray meat was good. So I definitely felt like that was it was beneficial because of the intention that I put in it. Like, first you got to put the water in it. You hit the buttons, it does the UV, it does the bubbler, and then you got to wait like 5 minutes for the water to be done. And then, so just all of that intention going into the water before I drink it, that has to be something. Whether or not it was making any improvements in my health and my well-being, I couldn't tell you. Smart, savvy, loved. You remember Malachi York from Brooklyn? Yeah, he was. He is so crazy, and that's why I followed him for as long as I could, or like, I was into his teaching for as long as I could because before I ever knew who he was, the Masonic Lodge that he became a 33 degree in was on the corner from where I used to fucking live, like, um, Jefferson Avenue, Jefferson and Franklin. There's a Masonic lodge right there, and he came out of that lodge, and I didn't. This is way before I knew what Masons were and all of that. And I found him in 2008 when I was going to IAR. I was talking about Nibiru and I was talking about reptilians one day in class, and then my boy to this day, my brother Xavier, better known as Imhotep, after class, he was like, "Yo, you can't be talking like that. You too loud. Like, you don't know who's listening." Like, he made it real spooky sounding. Like, I wasn't supposed to be talking about Nibiru and reptilians and shit like that. He was like, "You just gotta be careful about what you're saying. Like, who's listening and that." And he was from the school of thought called Nuwaupu, which was the school that Malachi York was. What's the word? Profulgating. Like getting. That is Malachi Z. York's school. Nuwaupu or Nuwaubu. The B or the P are kind of interchangeable. But yeah, so me and him started kicking it about what I then calling Planet X or Nibiru. He was telling me about the Anunnakis and the Elohim, and he taught me about the Torah, the Quran, and the Bible. Like if you look at them in their original languages, and you look at them in their original translation, and then you cross-reference them, this is how it's brought to me. You can get a better picture of the history of humanity or where we all come from. So that alone captured my heart. He was a black man, you know what I'm saying, from Brooklyn. He made R&B music. He had like a platinum record. He knew Hebrew. He knew Arabic. He knew English. He actually went down to Atlanta and they were building like pyramids and stuff like that. So all of that was very admirable. And I was learning fervently. Like I was going to their school. They have a school in Brooklyn and Bushwick, I believe. It's the only black brownstone that you will see in Brooklyn. A big ass black brownstone with gold hieroglyphs on it. So that made me feel special going there every weekend to go learn. And I followed fervently for like a year and a half. And that's when I was actually on a train. I was on a one train one day and I was reading a scroll. And a dude that I used to know back in Yonkers, like he used to be in the studio. He was an older dude. He saw me reading a scroll, and he was like, "Oh, you went to the Malachi York, Nuwaupu, all of that." He was like, "Yo, stay away from that. I used to live on the land." Da da da. Like he told me he stayed with them in Atlanta. It was right outside of Atlanta, and he basically tried to dissuade me from reading any of that, looking into it. He was like, "Yo, Malachi York is a sick human being. This is what he went to jail for." And I was like, word, like the homie who told me he went to jail, he told me he went to jail for 360, like they sentenced him to like 365 years in jail back in the early 2000s. But he told me that they did that to him because he was just waking so many people up of what the true reality of Earth was and humanity was. So that was my understanding of it. But he told me about like the real case. So I immediately went and looked it up. Like, why is Malachi Z. York really in jail? And then I found out a whole bunch of crazy shit that I was like, hold up. This is wild. So it's the same kind of thing of like, you got to separate the person from the teaching. Like, I don't know what happened to homie. Like, how he was so prolific in his teaching and profound in his teaching and so smart, but to descend to whatever level of humanity he had to descend to get even accused of the crimes that they accused this man of. Like, put the tax money laundering shit aside. The other shit that they was accusing him of, fucked me up. And I can't fuck with anybody who does shit like that. But the books that the homie was read, like, in the same way Abraham Hicks and Bashar channel entities, Malachi Z. York was channeling Atum Re. That's the way I understand it. So I can't really put my thumb on it to like tell you exactly what was going on with Malachi Z. York, or he's misnomered. Like if you go to somebody who's really a follower of Nuwaupu and you say Malachi Z. York, they know who you're talking about, but they don't want you to call him that. He has 99 different names. One of them is like Dejeti, Atumre, Abu Nabi, Reakta, something like that. Like, and it's important to understand those tongues and why they use those tongues and those vibrations. Shout out to whoever's hitting the spamming the like button. I appreciate you. But yeah, so I say all of that to say, yes, smart, savvy, and loved. I was once upon a time a very fervent follower of Nuwaupu and Malachi York. I still have all of my scrolls. I still have the black book. I still got the holy tablets. And I can't say that I read them that much anymore, but what I will say, the things that I learned from them scrolls are in my brain every single day, and I think about them multiple times throughout the day. Like just yesterday, I was listening to the audiobook Conversations with God, because that's another one of my favorite books of all time. And in the second book, the reader was talking about Jesus and how Jesus never refused to help anybody. That's what they were saying in Conversations with God. Now, mind you, I just told you Conversations with God is like one of my favorite books of all time. But that conflicted with the information that I got from Malachi York. Malachi York, in one of his scrolls is was Jesus Christ a racist? And you know, once I saw that, I had to pick it up because I was like, what is he talking about? Jesus Christ was a racist? Ain't no way. But Malachi Z. York and his genius would go take you right to the scripture, and he would say, what does this say? And the scripture would say something like, Jesus said out of his own mouth that he was only here for the tribe of Israel. He was only here for the people of Israel. He didn't fuck with nobody else. So what does that say? And then there were a couple other incidences where somebody who wasn't a part of the tribe of Israel would come up to Jesus and ask him for like healing of some kind. And he would look at them and be like, hell no, you ain't my people. So, you know, there's conflicting information out there, and it's for you to go within your heart and ask yourself, how does it serve me at the end of the day? What does it do for you? If anything, it just keeps me on my toes and sharpen my thought and my critical thought, and knowing that whatever anybody says, any human being, especially if they channel other entities from other planets, whatever they say, what if the opposite is true? That's something that goes hand in hand with thought. Anytime somebody's telling you, this is what it is, in your mind, you're supposed to be saying, okay, that might be what it is, but what if the opposite is true? And that's just me. Abdullah said, if I were you, I would try Kangen water. Okay, the Kangen waters are still out here. That's what's up. They've been at it for a minute. I appreciate who's ever spamming the hearts. I love that. Oh, Lou was good. I ain't see you in a minute. I hope that you would jump in the chat today, because I know you ain't have class. Smart, savvy, and love says forbidden knowledge is great. He has a wealth of knowledge on his subject. I agree. I've been messing with Dr. Carson is his name since before he had a big account. When his account was like 20 or 30,000 on Instagram, that's when I had found him. Now he's got millions. He's on Gaia. All of that said, I was kind of weary of Dr. Carson when he started make pretending that he did Malachi Z. York's work. That was kind of alarming to me. I don't like when people do that. And you see it all the time on the internet. A lot of times people that get into these esoteric schools and these schools of thought, and they'll take information that people have had for decades. Brother Panic, Bobby Hemmett, This is shit that they've been teaching for decades. I can't think of Queen's name right now. Jewel Pokram, I think that's her name. This is shit that they've been teaching for decades. And Dr. Carson is out here talking like this is shit that he discovered. I was always weary of him and apprehensive of him since that time. And recently, he got exposed in a very bad way. He was doing a live chat with like, I actually followed the guy on YouTube, a white guy. He's well studied in theology and shit like that, especially the Bible and the Quran. So Forbidden Knowledge, or Dr. Carson, as we all know him, was, saying the shit that he normally says, very confident. And the dude was like, wait, where are you getting this information from? And he was like, oh, well, if you look in the Numa Elish and the Gilgamesh epics and all of this, he was like, okay, well, like, he basically just, he made Dr. Carson look pretty bad. And then Dr. Carson could have just left it at that. Like, okay, well, this guy disagrees with me. He doesn't agree with the way that I'm teaching. He could have left it at that. But the shit that exacerbated the whole fucking situation is Dr. Carson went to this dude's house and like tried threatening him and telling him that he needed to take the shit down. He basically didn't want to be made a fool of in the public eye like that. This happened like, I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 months ago. So it's relatively new. Not a lot of people might know it. But he scared the bejesus out of Dr. Carson. Dr. Carson did not want to be exposed for not really knowing the shit like that. So I had mixed emotions about it because, like I said, I was already weary of him claiming that he knew the shit like he claims he knows, and then actually profiteering off of the shit. Like, the nigga he's made millions off of reading Dr. York's scrolls and studying other people like Bobby Hemmett, Brother Panic, Jewel Program, like I already said. So when he got exposed, I was like, that's what you get. But at the same time, I was like, damn, like, the shit that you talking is not valid. It's not true and exact, Lord. So you got called out for that shit and exposed. Okay, Smart Savvy, you know what I'm talking about. You know about the tab. You ever been there? You ever walked in there? I remember the first time I walked in there, I was like, oh my God, these people can like, I've heard things about students of Nuwaupu. Like the time they said when Dr. York used to take them up to Bear Mountain in the 90s, and he would call, the story that I heard was homie called down a ship. Like, according to the people in our school, they're always watching. They're always up. No matter how far they are, their technology is so advanced that you can call out to them with your consciousness. So I heard a story that Dr. York called out. They came down. They showed him. It's called a Samash, I believe what it is. And he only showed the students that so that they can realize that, I think they need like a minimum of six people. With 6 people, you can meditate to a certain point where you can build your own Merkaba or whatever, like a metaphysical spaceship, and you can leave the planet. And I love that story. But it also fucks me up because if that was really true, I don't think Dr. York or Dejeti Atumre Amunabi would be in the situation that he's in. Jay-Z and Nas used to go to the classes in Bushwick. Yeah, I've heard that. Oh yeah, I'm not letting go of those. I keep them very safe and secure. Not a troll. Sometimes you be trolling and sometimes you don't. I don't understand. Mrs. Nutty, howdy. All is well on this side. Hope all is well with you. I hope that you've tried some pineapple pizza today. Bye, Mateo. You probably gone already. Rami says no sound. I wonder what that's about. Wes Huff. Okay, Happy Feet. You know what I'm talking about. Wes Huff was a guy on YouTube, and I love watching his videos too. Yes, Wes Huff came out like, if it wasn't for him giving Dr. Carson the business the way he did that day, I would have never really like paid attention to him. But when he did that, I was like, all right, let me start watching what this dude is talking about. Oh, you been in there? That's what's up. Yeah, man. I used to go to classes. Maybe, yo, that would be crazy if we sat in that same class. We sat in that same class one of them Sundays, and here we are. Like we don't even really know each other. Since we're talking about it, I've only told maybe 2 people in my life what my Nuwaupu name was. My Nuwaupu name is Absabor Ketru. It translates to father of patience and speech. Okay, Olu, you got scrolls. That's what's up. See, we here. That's the fam. Ashley, what's good? Yeah, I got a zero time reference date. My zero time reference date is April 1st of 2008. I still carry my certificate and all of that like it's gold to this day. Thank you, Mrs. Clayton. We well past the hour and I've been yapping. So I'm gonna get the fruit out. I'm gonna bust down some fruit and then I'm gonna get to cooking because I'm hungry, fam. I smoked myself this morning. Ah, but the 1 meal a day though, the 1 meal a day has been a wave. It's been such a wave. Like you can see, it's already about what 3? No, it's we a quarter to 4 right now. So I'm happy that I lasted this long because the later I eat, the more easy it is. Like when 8:30, 9 o'clock come around, I'm still full from this meal. Okay, Rami, I'm happy you made it back and the audio is improved for you. We was talking about Nuwaupu. Smart Savvy Loved. I wonder if you okay, so you know Kim, brother Kim. What was the lady's name? I can't remember her name, fam. But beautiful people. I always love seeing them out and about. Like when I started going to the tab every Sunday, for some reason I would run into them in other places in the city. Like I'd be in the Bronx. I'd run into Kim. Or I'd be out in like Staten Island and run into the sister who used to run the meetings back then. Olu said, you better not bring that sausage out. Fam, come on, let me live. That's my protein for the day. And we have it. You know what I mean? What I'm supposed to do? Let it go bad? You want me to let the food go bad, Olu? Olu said that shit better in the garbage. Yo, muscadines are quickly my favorite grape. Where was the last time, tell me in the chat, when was the last time you saw grapes with seeds in them? And where did you find them? Because I can't find seeded grapes anywhere. Everywhere I go, grapes are always seedless. And I'd rather not. Smart, Savvy, and Love, do you have the Circle 7 scroll? That's one of my most prized joints. Circle 7 and the Holy Tablets, of course. My most prized books. Like, I don't even let people look at them. I don't even read them in my lap. Imhotep told me that. He was like, yo, when you read, don't put the books in your lap. Like, bring them to your chest. And he only had to tell me once. I never did that shit again. John Maker was good. You got a copy of the Holy Tablets? That's a rare one. Not a lot of people have it. I heard there was There was only like 1,000 printed or something like that. Alicia Guerrero said, "Come to Brooklyn, you'll get seeds in the grapes." Okay, I need to. I'm overdue for a trip to Brooklyn anyway. Long overdue. I can't wait to bring Aura to New York. Oh my gosh, you're gonna love it. And I'm like, yeah, Daddy did this over here. Daddy did that over there. I can't wait. Show her my history, my town. She gets to see her mother's town all day long. Sarah Lopez says you don't see grapes with seeds in Norway or watermelon. Damn, that sucks. That sucks, man. I be eating these seeds, especially watermelon seeds. I'll eat a watermelon seed. I don't even bother taking the seeds out. But with these muscadine grapes, the seeds are so like strong. They're like brolic ass seeds, so I don't be trying to eat them like that. Bramy says go to the farmer's market for seeded grapes like Decab Schmeina. I think it means Smyrna. Or the one on Buford Highway. Halang was good. Alright. I ain't even do my dishes. I'm bugging. Alright, so I'm not gonna cook on this live because I still gotta do the dishes and I don't want to do that with y'all. But I'm gonna let it rock for like 15, 18 more minutes. We're gonna close it out at the hour and a half. If that's alright with y'all. I don't know why these strawberries are dumb bitter. All right, let me get y'all some more words that we could use interchangeably. So we did emotions and states. Now we're gonna do power and ability. Power versus strength. How many of us know the difference between power versus strength? Power is gonna equal capacity to influence or control. Strength is the ability to endure or exert force. I love that one. Power equals a capacity to influence or control. Strength is the ability to endure or exert I was gonna say force, but it is force. Ability to endure or exert force. I love that. The next one is authority versus responsibility. Authority equals the right to decide. Responsibility equals the duty to answer for outcomes. Authority equals the right to decide. Responsibility equals the duty to answer for outcomes. The last one in power ability class is skill versus talent. Skill equals the cultivated ability trained over time. Talent is the natural aptitude or gift. Skill equals the cultivated ability trained over time. Talent is the natural aptitude or gift. I love that. Anime talks about the difference between talent and skill all day long. And every fucking anime I've ever seen, they're talking about that. Yeah, man. What else y'all got going for the day? Anybody got the cookout going for the day? The Labor Day cookout? Does anybody know why you're not supposed to wear white after Labor Day? I always wondered that. I need to Google that. Because white is one of my favorite colors to wear. Thank you, John. I'm 8 days from 40 years old. And I've been fucking working my ass off with this body every day. Every day, full fucking body workouts. Hour and a half, 2 hours long. And I love it. One of the best things ever. It's like saving your own life, you know what I mean? I want to live till I'm 200 years old, and I want to chase my great great grandchildren around. I want to be able to scoop them up, throw them in the air, catch them. You know, 130 years old, throwing kids in the air and catching them. Okay, Kendall, you meal prepping? That's what's up. Shout out to you. Round of applause for you. Meal prepping is one day. Happy birthday to your brother, Smart Savvy. Virgo gang. Bohemian Goddess, you always on point, girl. Always. There's never a time when you're not. I bet you even when you slipping, you on point. Yeah, man. When you start getting old, you realize you don't have any more time to not be in shape. I think that was my biggest issue is like I would be in decent shape in my 20s, and in my 30s I would be in decent shape and I would be okay with it. Like I was, for some reason in my brain I'm like, oh, I got more time to get fit. 39 years old, fam, you have no more time. You have no more time. So I don't take a single day for granted. Even when, like right now, I'm kind of like injured with something called the piriformis syndrome. And as much as I want to like lament about the pain, I keep reminding myself that it's God telling me that I need to be fit. Because to keep it objectively all the way 100% true, like if I did not work out every day, this leg would be killing me all day. Like it would hurt all day. I couldn't be able, every time I sat down, every time I put on a sock, try to tie my shoe, put on a shoe, I would be in so much pain. And the only way to mitigate that is by walking a good 1.5 miles to the workout station. I work out as hard as I can, and then I walk back. And when I notice that whenever I do that, the piriformis does not bother me until about 2 or 3 hours after I fall asleep. That shit will wake me up out of my sleep though. Especially behind my knee. Oh my God. What a pain. Like I gotta get up at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I gotta take like 300 to 400 steps around the house. I gotta do some stretches. I gotta like decompress my lower back just to be able to go back to sleep. It is not fun. It is not. But that's also what helps me wake up at 5:30 in the morning and look forward to going to work out my body. To look forward to be able to get like a real stretching. So Mr. Maker, if you're not up in the ages like I am yet, take this as a motivating, like, hear my voice today, right now, and in the future. As you get older, don't waste a single day. Do something, whether it be push-ups, even if you just stretch. If you stretch your body for a good 20 to 30 minutes, it'll always be worth it. It's like basically money in the bank. Mrs. Guerrero, what's good? You got issues with your knees too? Peyton McCaffrey, you look like Felix from Stray Kids. I don't even know what that is. But I hope it's a compliment. I'm hoping you're not trying to say I look funny. But I'll take it too, though. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know what I mean? I'm very much within a sense of humor. John Maker, why are you making me feel like I need to take off my shirt right now? Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, but nah, the biceps is looking good though. The biceps is looking good. The shoulders is slowly turning into boulders. The triceps is not right where I want them to be, but I feel them. I feel them. Mike, smoke a spliff. Past that. I smell it. Let me inhale it. Yeah, I'm just fucking with you, John. All right, I'm going to search that up, Peyton. I hope you're right. I think I might know who you're talking about, though. There's this one light-skinned actor who kind of resembles me. I resemble him, whatever. Yeah, they get in there, John. They get in there. My biggest thing is the L-sit. That is number one, the muscle up. I haven't done a muscle up since I was like 12 or 13 years old. It used to be super easy for me just to throw myself above the bar. So my first goal is muscle ups. Second goal is the L-sit. I cannot hold my legs out. Like if this is my head and this is my torso and this is my legs, I cannot hold my legs straight out like that. My legs are always like, meow, meow. No matter what I do, I can't stand that shit. And that's another thing I love about working out. Like, your body's not going to lie. There's no way I can Photoshop fucking Canva my legs out. I mean, I could, but I'm not going. You know what I mean? That's the point that I'm trying to make is your body's not going to lie. Your body's going to tell you where you're weak at. So when I try to hit the L-sit and keep my legs straight out, they always like this. Yeah. And then I feel it in like my lower abs. And in my breath, my breath goes, it sounds like a bus slowing down. And I love that because I know one day if I keep at it, if I do it every fucking day, I will get the L-sit. And that will be one of the greatest days of my life. Promise you. When I get to hold the, when I can hold the leg out, look, I can't even straighten the... This is as straight as my leg can go right now. Because that's how tight my hammies and all my tendons and all of that is. I got a long way to go, fam. A long way to go. And that's why I get at it every day. No excuses. Not going to have me on my deathbed at 70 years old talking about, I wish I would have went to the park and did some exercises. Olu, you know that's what I'm about to do, fam. You know I brought out the fruit just for the live. But nah, facts though, like I still gotta do the fucking, I gotta do my dishes, so I'm not gonna hold y'all with that. And my cooking always comes out better when I'm not doing it on the live. So it's gonna be scrumptious. Don't worry, I'm a back up off the I'm gonna back up off the swine as soon as, cause we still got a lot. We still got a lot. Let me show you. I got those two joints down there. And then I got these joints right here. Boo! So once I'm done with those, oh, by the way, had to cop this today. I was like, yo, everybody's out there barbecuing and fucking having a grand old time with their fucking family. I'm in here dolo with my YouTube live family. I'm getting some ice cream today. So, and that shit is $6.50, fam. I remember I used to cop them shits for $3 when I was in high school and eat them for breakfast. Chocolate chip on the Haagen-Dazs. Crazy. And I haven't had it. I haven't had chocolate chip in about 2 years. Last time I had ice cream, period, was like 2 weeks ago. So I'm treating myself. The truth, 999 was good. Cynthia was good. Zori, family not cooking out either. I hear that. My dad went up to his brother's, my Uncle Greg's house in Macon, Georgia for the weekend. And that's what they doing. So I know they cooking it up because they all like to cook. But yeah, man. Truth said, you're well worth the 30 USD for 15 minutes. Don't let the haters tell you otherwise. Okay, I accept that. I ain't seen nobody put no money on the board though, but I'm with you. I co-sign that all day. The caramel Haagen-Dazs is your favorite? Okay, Bohemian. And he said you add extra caramel. Okay. Get it, girl. Treat yourself. Look, she gonna be in the supermarket in the freezer aisle later on. Like, no, son, I should treat myself. Oh, you got the rum raisin ready to go? That used to be my joint. I used to fuck a rum raisin up. I think that's one of my dad's favorites. He's more like a vanilla head. He fuck with the vanilla just plain by until somebody else got some ice cream. Like, if I'm definitely not gonna eat all of that today, at all. But when my dad gets home tomorrow, I might want to eat a little, like, because I know once he see it, I'm never gonna see it again. No words will be seen. No words will be said. The ice cream will be gone. And he does some slick shit too. He be waiting till I go to bed because I try to wake up early, so I'll be in bed like 10:30, 11 o'clock, the latest. Every night, midnight. If there's some sweets down here, midnight, 12:30. I hear him going down the loud ass steps. Boop, 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 boop. I wake up the next day, sweets gone. It's all good. I love my dad for that shit though. That's who he is. You know what I'm saying? We gotta let the people we love be who the fuck they wanna be, man. For real, for real. Like, we gotta stop trying to control them and be like, oh, I wish you weren't this way. Like, do you love me or not? Do you love me or not? Because if you love me, then you love me as I am. You don't love me for you might love the fucking thought of me in your head, this fictional character that you think I am in your head. That's what you love. But that's not really who I am. Alright, so it's about to be an hour and a half. I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out. Thank you all for joining me. It's been pleasant, as it always is. I had the whole family here today. Who was we missing today? We had Happy, we had Bohemian, we had Olu, Smart Savvy Love, we had Mrs. Clayton in here for a minute. I'm saying all these people because these are the people who are usually like in every single one of my lives. Did I miss anybody? Who did I miss? Raimi was in here. She's in the building a lot. Mrs. Lopez is in here. Alicia Guerrera, I know I've seen you before. But I think that's the family that we have. So I just want to, Miss Nettie, definitely Miss Nettie. Okay. I just want to shout out you people for always coming through. And the people who I didn't mention, I hope to continue to see you, even if your name is not a troll. You know what I mean? Mrs. Koger, dang. That's another one of my real ones who's always in here. And she just missed it today, but I love you all. Even if I didn't mention your name, I wish nothing but love, peace, and happiness to you. So that being said, we're going to close it out. That's at an hour and a half. To the one of us who is many, to the divine dichotomy, may you all have an experience and enjoy peace, progress, prosperity, persuasion, wealth, health, happiness, eternity, abundance, gratitude, humility. Peace to you all. I will see you tomorrow, because tomorrow's an even day. Remember, this is an extra. This is an extra right now. So tomorrow we're gonna do what we're gonna be back to normal schedule. The live on an even day. Oh, T Money. I ain't forget you, T Money. I saw you was in here. Much love to you. I'll see you tomorrow around 2:30, 3 o'clock, something like that. You know how we do. All right, peace.